Hey everybody, it's Amir from the Fatal Strike team, and I'd like to tell you all a little bit about our game. Our game is a 2D fighting game. This means that the main mode is a 1v1 versus mode. Here, your goal is to reduce your opponent's health to 0. Do this 3 times and you'll win 3 rounds, therefore winning the match. In order to attack your enemy, you have access to 3 different moves. The first is a light attack, the second is a heavy attack, and the third is a charge attack that is performed by holding down the heavy attack button and charging. On top of this, there's a parry mechanic. When you parry, you can deflect incoming attacks from your opponent. When an enemy is deflected, you can then attack them with a counter attack. Finally, Fatal Strike has 3 unique stages, each with their own special song. I recommend checking out all the stages and hearing all the great music as well. That's it for the intro, but now we want to tell you a little bit about the work we did in order to create Fatal Strike.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Patsky. I'm the UI designer and one of the pixel artists. One of the biggest challenges I experienced was aligning my art style to the agreed upon style. I have a really hard time with art in general, and I often get stuck at the conceptual stage in which I'm deciding on how things should look. I was initially really stuck on a 1950s neon sign art style that I couldn't stop producing. Thankfully, with some help from one of the other artists, I managed to make something that actually looks good, and it also aligned with the style that we desired, and that would be the initial title scene. I learned a ton from this project, and my pixel art skills improved a lot. And I learned in depth how the animation system in Unity works. And most of all, I learned that making an animated menu scene that you can actually interact with is so much harder than I ever thought it would be.
Hello, my name is Stephen Chow. I am the so-called lead artist for backgrounds in our Capstone. A biggest challenge when doing art is the amount of shading you have to do, as indicated in this picture. This tree, cherry blossom tree to be more precise. The sliding doors, whether that this main background and cherry blossom tree was the most difficult part. Though a sprite does have a setting that allows you to get a lot of shade of the particular color you chose, which is a major learning factor to me because I never knew how that was a thing.
My name is Garcia, and my role was sound engineering, which consisted of creating, mixing, and mastering our music and sound effects using Reaper and Adobe Audition. Sound and music are important for fighting games, and my biggest challenge was giving our game its own soul through the sounds and music. Through this project, I learned how to establish relationships with audio and games where sound becomes a part of the experience.
Hey, it's Amir again. My role on the team was to design and program all the gameplay for Fatal Strike. For me, the biggest challenge was working with the Unity animation system, as fighting games have many different animations with different states and transitions that have to go between all of them. While this was challenging, I also felt that this was my biggest area of growth and learning. I learned a lot about the animation system and the nuances of things like animation events. I also learned how to make different systems work together. For example, making the attacks and parries all function and flow together. Overall, I think this was a great learning experience for me.
Hi, I'm Brendan Schofield, and I made the character sprites for Fatal Strike. This project has given me valuable insight on sprite work in fighting games. Frame data, transitional frames, and projecting danger zones into certain attacks were all features I never considered before. Overall, I've gained a lot of respect for artists who are able to incorporate extremely beautiful sprites in games.
And now last, but definitely not least, let's take a look at the Fatal Strike trailer.
Any strike could be fatal. 3, 2, 1, fight. Fatal. Fatal. Any strike could be fatal.